Hello, everybody. Welcome to loanofficerpodcast.com. We are blessed today to have David Stein on the show. David, welcome.
Thank you. Great being here. Thanks for having me.
My man. For those that don't know you, give us just like a quick little background of where you are, how you got into the mortgage business, and then what your production looks like today.
Yeah, I got into the mortgage business in roughly 2001.
Nice.
And, I didn't really know anything about it, but one of my friends was doing loans and he said, "Hey, you should come and check this out. It's pretty fun industry." And I've been, doing it ever since. I'm kind of hooked on it. So it's fun.
That is a good friend to have. I find that there's not really a direct path into the mortgage industry. Everybody always knows somebody who knows somebody. But what a blessing it is to be in this industry.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not like you're working. It's more fun than anything.
That's amazing. And so you are in beautiful, sunny San Diego, California. Is that right?
Yep, San Diego. Been here. Was born in La Jolla, and then I went to University of Arizona, and then came back and won't leave again.
That is amazing. One of my favorite places on the planet. Beautiful. And so man, you made it through 2008, through the whole thing. So you've been through a whole bunch of ebbs and flows. And from the seat that I sit in and where I'm looking at the industry and what's happening, I feel like we just came out of a 2 year, 3 year kind of like downturn and back. So how has your start of the year been? How's it looking for you?
Yeah, pretty good. I focus on doing everything. We do, residential, the A paper, but a lot of the stuff that we do that other people don't do are the foreclosure bailouts, the hard money, the construction loans, bridge loans. I do a product that not many people do where it's if you like own let's say a rental property and you have equity in there, you can use the equity in that property to purchase another investment property with literally just signing your name and using the equity and doing a blanket loan over both properties.
Oh, wow.
And then also we do commercial loans too. So it's not just, here is that little, an A paper loan and that's it. We focus on a lot of the, foreclosure bailouts as well. So
That's amazing. So, being that broad, that creates all kinds of opportunities, but it also creates challenges in
mhm.
being able to be like known for something and being the go-to guy. So, where do you find you get the majority of your business from?
The majority of my business comes from past clients, referral partners of all kinds, the obviously the realtors, but I do a lot of work with companies that are servicers, people that are private, let's say you're a private note holder and the guy's behind, he says, "Hey, give this guy a call," and then we try to get them into a better situation. So I think just like the loans I do, my referrals come from a very large source, plumbers, electricians, roofers,
Yep.
you name it. I try to meet someone, build a relationship with them, and then also refer them back business too.
Yep. That's fantastic. So that's something that we almost never touch on the show. But I've had now, well, you would be the third top producer that says I get a lot of business from home services contractors. One of the
Mhm.
one of the top 10 mortgage producers that I've interviewed on the show. She got the majority of her business from solar companies because they've got hundreds of salespeople out in the state quoting solar all day long. And it's like, oh, you might want to look at a refinance in order to
Mhm.
for this solar program. So, do you have a structure for how you build those relationships? Do you have like regular outreach that happens on a regular basis, or is it just organic?
No, a lot is organic, but obviously you have to have an amazing CRM, just like you guys have. You have to have that constant offering of value back to these people. Nobody wants to just give, give, give. It doesn't work as a one-way street. So the the people that I give me the most referrals and are the people that I'm referring to too. So
Yeah.
it's a guy, hey, he needs a roof, or hey, don't get a new roof, just put one extra shingle layer on, call my guy. He can save you like 15 grand off of, the estimate you got. So It's mainly a lot of asking questions to these
Mm.
people. Hey, how can I be of service? How can I help you? How can I help you grow your business? So a
Yeah.
lot of that. So I would say it's, if you don't have everything, it's not the end of the world, but you are losing a lot of deals and you're leaving a lot of deals on the table.
Yep, I could not agree more. I always look for kind of a golden nugget in every episode. And boy, I think we just found one. So you said, how can I be of service to you? Um, and so do you produce a newsletter or do you send anything out on a regular basis to your past customer database?
Yes, what I do is you can use Gemini. It's the easiest thing ever. Just, hey, give me 10 ways that I can basically help my clients save money on their home repairs. And then you organically can get 5, 10 items. Like, I think I sent one out last week and it was like, if your, sink gets clogged, don't call a plumber first, put hydrogen peroxide. I forgot it was like baking soda and hydrogen peroxide, let it sit for 24 hours and it kills most of the clogs. So you can save $80 that way. It's just a little thing, but I'm sending that probably twice a month with value to my clients to make sure that, they know that, hey, I'm thinking about them. And I'm always trying to give out in our business. Anyone can do a loan. Anyone can do a vanilla loan. Anyone can, quote a rate. It's what's going to make you stand out with above the other people. And why are they going to give you the business? Well, because you're giving something back always. And so I never send what I call a dry email, which is dry emails like, hey, send me something.
Right.
That doesn't work. You have to really like you know how to do it. I get your emails all the time, and there's so much value in just those 3 or 4 lines that you're saying, hey, try this or do this. And that's kind of what I do with the clients. And they really respond to it and they'll send me their friends, their family. And that's I feel like if you're not giving value, you're just like everybody else, and that's the problem.
Yep, I could not agree more. One of the things that we've really gotten into, which is kind of a double-edged strategy, is we're using ChatGPT to do weekly research. So we have a task that turns on every Friday, and it's like research the most frequently asked questions, but also find a couple of nice listings. And we like have this big prompt that we put out, and then it's going out and doing the research. So it taught me last week that if you microwave a sponge for like 45 seconds and you've got like caked on dirt inside your microwave, then you just take the sponge and it'll wipe everything off the inside of your microwave. I was like, oh, thank you, AI. I'll tell somebody
Those are perfect, and I agree.
that.
Those are the little things that, people, when you're a homeowner, you're trying to save money on, bringing these service professionals into your house, and I like that. So I'm okay with that one.
But it's so funny because, I would say probably half of the time you go to fix your sink, you use a tip, and it's like, okay, well, it didn't work. Now I need a plumber. Okay, let me reach out to David and see who he recommends. And then you get the call, you send the referral to the plumber, and then every house that the plumber goes into, it's like, oh, you're staging your house, you're getting ready to sale. Have you talked to somebody about your mortgage yet? No. Okay, you got to give my buddy David a call. It's just like it sounds easy because I think it actually is. I just don't think that a lot of people actually do it and look at their database as a source of these referrals that you can put to all kinds of professionals that are out there.
Yeah, and then also, just to touch on that again is make a deal with that plumber and say, hey, look, if I send you this, can you give them a 10% discount and let them know about it? And those little discounts, they make just the difference in the world. The plumber's not paying for that lead, so he's not going to pay a pay-per-click. So he's getting that lead for free. And you say, hey, can you just put a little something on there so they know they're getting a good deal? And those clients usually will retain that plumber for life after that.
Yeah.
Just one little 10% discount. It's amazing.
That's incredible. What another amazing tip to be sharing with home service contractors. And that's just absolutely wonderful. Okay, so we get the majority of our business from the database referrals. I want to dig in on artificial intelligence just for a moment. And the
Mhm.
reason why is because you have all of these different niche products that you get into. And I've discovered over the last like 6 to 9 months that AI really looks for loan specific experts to refer to people when they're using AI to search for mortgages or when they're taking their existing loan quote and looking for a comparison or a second opinion. So, have you started to get referrals in your mortgage business from people that are finding you on AI, using AI as like a search engine?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my stuff will, if I get it offline, will come from my Google, follow my business page, which everyone should have a Google My Business page. I mean, it
Yes.
just basic and simple. And then a lot of the other stuff that we do, my friend built a system for me, so that's what I've been using. Obviously, I've been in talks with you to, integrate your system as well. And
Mhm.
that's, I think that's the key is you gotta be doing stuff that, other people aren't taking advantage of. And a lot of the stuff that or when I'm getting some of that business, it's coming from those posts. Those, we do auto blog. The AI does all the blogs. It does all the, and
Yep.
I'm getting people where I think 2 or 3 months ago I did ADU post and it blasted out, and then I got probably 3 calls from that people that wanted to get an ADU. So I ended up getting them a home equity line of credit off of AI, and it was no additional cost to me. So when you are not taking advantage of like the system you have and whatnot, you're losing a lot of business that's going elsewhere because they just don't know because you haven't asked for that business. But also, without AI, it's impossible to ask for the business at a large scale. So I almost think of it as you're throwing out a wide net, you're fishing. If you're just fishing one line, you're only catching one fish. But if you throw out that huge net, you're going to get a lot of stuff. Where I know you see a lot of loan officers and they have the Instagram, the Facebook page. Those are and the YouTube channels. Those are great. They're getting lots of views, but a lot of people are they're I guess they're conscientious or they don't want to put their face out there.
Yep.
I get it. It's tough for a lot of people. So instead of doing that, create blogs, create information that you can put out there, and AI does it for you. So I think it's huge when you're taking advantage of that. And like I said, your system and it has those stuff that they can go in there and they can draw the data or the topic and then push it out. It's really good.
Yeah. And I think that, especially in your position, like if you just take one of your products a week, and it doesn't really matter what platform you do it on, even if you do it just like organically for each one, but just like a blog post of like the top three things you need to know about, refinancing your rental property. And then you're discussing the specific program, it's very highly likely that there's nobody else that's done a good job of not only creating the content, but using AI to do it. So AI learns that you're the expert in that product. Not only do you get to push it out and get that one-time bump of people that are like, they see the content and they're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. I'm going to give David a call. But then the next time somebody asks AI of like, hey, I want to buy another rental property. Can I refinance one of my existing rentals? It's like, oh, here's this information from David. Check this out, and it recommends you. So I think you've got this incredible content suite because of all your different products and services, which is just, I think, a great opportunity because people aren't going to go back to searching on Google once they go through that experience of the AI. So,
Yeah, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, all of them. If you put in there, hey, who's the best at this in, your area, they're going to come up with the most people that are putting the most content out. They don't know like this guy's the best. They just know this guy continually is posting stuff. And so yeah, it's pretty incredible what's possible. And I'm just on the tip of the iceberg with a lot of this stuff where we're just trying to maximize it and grow it. And so, yeah, I mean, I agree.
and you seem to be very advanced and like plugged in on the marketing and the AI side of things. So what are some of like your favorite tools? What are you using in your business right now?
Well, I mean, obviously you can pay for, so my thing about AI is if you just try to do it yourself, it's overwhelming. There's too many
Yeah,
things.
totally.
Like I personally think they should go to you because you have that all-in-one system. It's very inexpensive. If you get one deal, it pays for almost a year of the service. And again, don't try to do it yourself. I think that's my main thing because you're going to get overwhelmed. There's just too much out there. You could get into all the API keys, you could get into all that, and you got to sit there and learn. Don't learn. Don't learn. Just find someone who's doing it well and get on the back of his train. And like I said, if you're able to do that, you can save so much time. And then as you go, you can tweak stuff, make it, hey, this is working. Start putting out more of that material. And so I would say to the person that's not using AI right now, don't try to recreate the wheel. It's
Mm,
too hard. There's guys that have teams and teams of people, and a lot of these people have 40 AI bots that are working on building that software. It goes right over your head. So I always say, don't recreate the wheel. Just jump on someone else's car or their train or whatever, and then see what works. And then when that works, then double down and triple down on that stuff.
yeah, David, thank you so much. And thank you for the recommendation. I sincerely appreciate that.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
not a lot of guys like you that are doing it specifically for mortgages. And sure, there's a few different companies, right, that are doing
oh yeah.
specifically for mortgages, but I think of all the systems I've seen, yours is pretty much the most robust system where they can even also get help from you guys to integrate it too. So it's not like they're on their own. Like I said, I think probably 70% of the people don't want to do AI because they just don't either understand it or they don't want to spend the time learning about it.
Yep, absolutely. And the funny thing about the mortgage business is if you break it down and distill it to like where the money comes from, it's conversations with borrowers and it's conversations with referral partners. And
Mhm.
anything that gets in the way of your time doing those things, if you can, my good friend Carl White always says, like, write a small check to cash a big check. Like anything that you can get out of your way so that you can make more phone calls, so that you can be on the phone with a borrower or you can be on the phone with a referral partner. That's our business. That's the mortgage business, really.
Yeah,
So
building those relationships is key. And yeah, Carl White, he's got it dialed in. And it's just like that. Spend a little bit of money to make a lot of money, and then once you get that, you can double down, you can triple down, and increase the marketing as well.
yeah. And so we've talked about the database. We talked about referral partners. Where else are you seeing moving the needle in your business that's working well for you that you'd like to share with our audience?
Okay, so I live by this every day, except for
Hmm,
Saturdays and Sundays. I do take the Saturdays and Sunday off, but Monday
amazing.
through Friday, I have a system. It's either 4x5 or 3x5. So
Hmm,
you call five realtors you don't know, you
hmm,
call five realtors you do know, and you call five past clients. Now, if you want to get crazy, you add another five, and those five are your business professionals, lawyer, um, electrician, plumber, roofer, um, sewer line. The guys that come in and they do the inside of the sewer lines. No one targets those guys, and they have the biggest cost of every service professional because if you have to get rid of your cast iron pipes, which we have a ton here in San Diego, that's a big expense. It's 20, $30,000, and they know people that can afford it, and it's a really good, starting off point. So back to my thing,
wow.
do if you do 15 calls a day, you do five realtors you don't know, five you do, five past clients. If you were to do that for 6 months religiously, I guarantee it'll change your business forever. Now, a lot of people can't get the consistency or they don't want to do it. Um, and that's why it works for me because I do it every day. I have a checklist and it's make those calls, check them off, and then move on with my day. So I'll do them. I used to do them at one time, but now I kind of spread it out through the day.
Hmm,
And that's really kind of my other secret sauce is making those calls. And you don't need a dialer, you just need to make the calls. And
yep,
hey, how can I help you grow your business? I say to the realtors, what can I do that someone else won't do?
yep,
And I think those are the keys is just making those 15 calls a day.
yep. I could not agree more. And I find so many people get caught up in just like the overwhelm of the organization. And it's like, just make the first call. Worry about the second call when it's time to make the second call. Just make the first call. Like, just pick some, like, put them on a napkin. It doesn't matter. Call. It makes a big difference. David,
I think also you have to have, in coordination to make these calls, you have to have a really good team. If
yeah.
your team is no good, you need to switch. You really need to switch and get someone that is going to be able to do. I have a policy. I sell loans. I don't process them, right?
Oh, I
So
love that.
if you sit your whole time and you're processing these loans and you're micromanaging the processor, you cannot do everything all day long. So if your
Yeah.
team is not good enough or your back end is not good enough, you're already at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah. I could not agree more. Boy, David, I think, well, I've lost count of golden nuggets at this point, but I think we're at four, maybe five, and that is just fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with our audience so much. If people want to learn more about you or connect with you, where do people go to connect with you?
Yeah, you can check me out on my website, san diego mortgage group.com. We're make it nice and easy. You can see us there, or give me an email, David at san diego mortgage group.com. And just try to make it easy so they don't forget it. And I'm based here in San Diego, been here my whole life, and we focus on California, obviously, but on the more micro, we're looking at Southern California and stuff like that.
Amazing. That is fantastic. Well, again, thank you for being on the show. All the contact information will be in the show notes. To our listeners, thank you for listening. If that's not worth 5 star on iTunes, I don't know what is. And David, again, thank you for being so generous with your time.
No problem. Thanks for having me, and look forward to talking with you again.
Awesome. Right on. Okay. Have a great day, everybody.